Hello everyone and welcome back to figuring out just how professional Fire Emblem armies really are. So far, we've surprisingly learned that the idea that Fire Emblem armies are just a hodgepodge of bums off the street that don't know what they're doing isn't really all that true. And today, we are going to see if FE6 can follow suit with its games prior. Real quick to explain our point system: 1 point, training and experience. Half a point, you've been trained, but you've never actually seen combat. No points, you're a bum off the street. Very simple point system. The main thing people have started to bring up is that they think I should kind of change how the point system works because characters like Marcus, who is a seasoned war veteran, versus, say, Sword Arm, who's not quite as trained and seasoned, shouldn't be on the same category. And to answer that complaint, this isn't a contest to see which army is the most overqualified. We're just trying to see which armies are qualified. So, for the sake of that, any trained knight that's seen combat is good enough. We're not trying to see who's overprepared. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with those very same knights. The Knights of Fare, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce it or how it's spelled off the top of my head. They're all a point. They're a squadron that has seen training and action, so they are all good to go. Marcus, he has an entire 2 games of experience. He's good. Alan and Lance, trained Cain-able knights. Nothing too complicated here. I'm pretty sure Walt has seen combat, but I'm actually not. Today's wiki is brought to you by Edward Jones, whoever the fuck that is. Walt. Is this his first blah, 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 blah? He just joins the game. Alright, well, we'll just say that he's seen combat like the other knights, but that can be debated. Roy. He's had training with Cecilia in Ostia, and, the tutorial shows that he's fought, but I don't think it's, proper combat. He's had simulations, and does that really count? I don't think so. I think that's just fancy training, so he only gets half a point. But then again, the entire point of his character is that he's learning to be a big, strong boy. Becoming a properly trained knight is kind of his character arc. Or trained leader, I should say. So, can't knock the guy for having an arc. Boars, the Great Golden Chin. He's a point. Trained knight of Ostia. Super. So he's one of Lilina's most trusted knights alongside Barth. So, yeah, he's a point. I don't think there's much room for debate on that one. Ellen, pretty lady with a stick. Again, most healers get half a point after I adjusted the system to give them not 0 points. There will be some slight exceptions later on the line. I think Mulder and Reese are both qualified enough for 1 point. But as for Ellen herself, just a pretty lady with a staff that ran away from Rude. God, Fire Emblem 6 boss portraits and names are a fucking gem. Merlinus. Merlinus is weird. He has a war's worth of experience being the cargo man. But is cargo professionalism? The way I'm justifying this is I give thieves a point for practice and skill thieving, even though that's not combat, because that's what they're meant to do. So trying to compare them to properly trained knights isn't really accurate or fair. So because the cargo man can cargo, I'm giving him a point, but that can be debated. I'm not 100% certain on Merlinus. What I am 100% certain on is Big Dick Energy alongside Lot and Wade. This is the same exact thing as Agma and his fighters, trained mercenaries. They know what they're doing. So, good on them. Just 3 big buff dudes willing to solve all your problems. Shauna, I don't actually know. We're going to have to consult the wiki. Because I remember her saying this was her first deployment, was being hired by Dick. And Apprentice Pegasus Knights. Alright, so She left there to learn. So, has she fought before serving with Dick, or has she merely been in training? I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and give her a point, but I don't actually know for sure. So, Shauna gets the point. I could see that argued otherwise. Chad! He's half a point, because he knows how to thieve, but I think it's pretty clear he only steals shit because he's orphaned, which, not exactly the most original statement, but, I still feel for you nevertheless. So I don't think he's had any, training or expertise in the act of thieving. He's likely just stolen small things so that he and the other orphans can survive. So, a regular Robin Hood over here, but not quite enough to say a full-on point for his thieving. Next up, we have a nerd with a book. The Banana Man, he knows how to cast spells, but he's never actually fought anything. In fact, his first appearance in Chapter 3 is him leaving and going, I'm gonna fight things. So, dearest Banana Man, you're alright, but nerds with a book don't quite get the full point. Clarine! If I could forget this character exists, I would. But she knows how to heal. Her main character thing is that she's completely sheltered, so I think it's safe to say she's never served in active combat. Clarine is one of those characters that makes me want to stick to my guts and give him no points, because her whole thing is that she's wildly underprepared for the real world. But y'all bullied me into giving healers half a point, so reap what you sow. Rutger! I will never know. Whether or not I spell his name ER or AR, completely random. But Rutger, he's good to go. Swordy Boy, not much else to say here. I highly doubt this is the first time he's killed a man. Nor the last. You better call Saul. Saul's a tough one. Because he is, officially recognized by Yodel and the church to be a pretty high-up dude to go on pilgrimages and shit. But I don't think he's seen enough combat experience to warrant a full point. I think he's just a womanizer with a staff. Dorothy, I feel like if she's trusted enough to be a bodyguard for the church, she's pretty good. This one's just speculation, so you could tell me otherwise, but I'm pretty sure Dorothy's alright. If you're trusted to be a bodyguard by who's essentially the goddamn Pope, I think you're pretty capable. Sue! I don't know. She's had training from Diane, but I don't think she actually fought in the Burn massacre at Sake. I think she just ran away, and that's kind of like the conflict she has with Diane and Shin. We do have the wiki. Oh, now we're sponsored by Purdue Pharmacy. Or something like that. Alright, where is Sue? Sue, profile when Burn invaded Sake, ordered to escape. Alright, so she just fled. Alright, so not quite a point. She has not actually fought, unlike the other two men of Sake. So, just a half a point for her. Sorry for the racist massacre of your clan, Sue. Sucks. Zealot and his knights. Trained mercenary knights. I made a whole fucking video on this guy. These are all capable knights. So I'm giving them the thumbs up. Not much else to say there, other than you really couldn't have given Noah and Trek some uniqueness and armor. Come on, man. Look at these guys. They get different colors. Zealot's skimping on the palette budget. Ashtal. Unlike Chad, this thief is fully trained and is a spy. So we know that Ashtal has been doing this for quite some time. We know he was doing it before he met Agreen, and Agreen and him, I think it's from a decade ago that they were a couple, but I'm not certain. He knows what he's doing. He is far from a rookie. Lelena, nerd with the book. Do I need to go into it? She's had training with Cecilia and all that, but her first introduction to combat is getting ignoring Barth and letting Legance fucking ruin everything. Yeah, fun little known fact. Barth actually snuffed out the rebellion at Ostia. Lelina just didn't believe him. She just said, nah, there's no way Legance is betraying us. And then Legance betrayed them. Another thing about Barth is, other than being a point, something that pisses me off about Barth, and I'm going to say it every goddamn time. His HP growth is 100%. The way that his base HP and level are, if you got him to perfect 2020, like promoted him at level 20 and then got him to level 20 general, he will always be at 59 max HP out of the cap of 60. Is that mattering at all? Like, are you ever going to use Barth that much? No, but it pisses me off, so I wanted to speak about it. Oh, and OJ's and Wendy are knights too. I don't know if Wendy's served in combat or not. Let me check. Here we go. Oh, now we're sponsored by Target. Wendy. Gwendolyn, fuck off, it's Wendy. Trained. Later in life, joined the Ostian Armor Knights. Served a long time, her brother Bors. Okay, so she served before. We're blindly trusting the wiki. We're fine here. Fur. She's fought, trained, easily tricked by bandits, but doesn't count against you in terms of capability. By God, if being easily tricked by your enemy, the Master Emerald would have a new guardian. So, Fur's good. As is Shin. Not much else to elaborate on with him. Gonzalez, I don't actually... I'm going to put Gonzalez in 0. Because I don't think he's fought before, and I highly doubt he's actually been trained. I think it's pretty clear he's just a big, ugly motherfucker that was manipulated into fighting people. So, let me look, because this is another one. Because I'm pretty sure it's not stated that Gonzalez has destroyed villages before. Where the fuck is he? There he is. So, Gonzalez. Rejected. Reduced to a bandit. Alright, was this the first time? I don't think he's actually seen combat. I think he's just raised some villages, as sad as that is. So I'm putting Gonzalez in 0. I think he's just an ugly motherfucker that got forced into what his life is. Geese, as well, doesn't have training. He's just a pirate he's just a merchant by trade, forced into piracy. And it's actively stated that he's going off to find his revenge. You can make the argument he knew how to defend himself when he was a merchant. I think I'll give him half a point, but he is not a pirate through training. He is, he's forced into it, which you'll see a lot of characters in Binding Blade kind of are. Klein! You don't get much more noble and trained than a commander of Lycian Knights under Utrian? Klein is good. That's about all I got. He's the son of Pent, so he obviously has had standing and, proper fancy hoity-toity training. He's good. And we will not separate him from Tate, who also has training and is a Pegasus Knight. Not much else to add on that one. Dancers are not qualified for combat. Neither are bards. I will put my foot down on that and never let it go. Echidna and Bartray are the fighters of the Western Isles, and they're pretty fucking good. Bartray, we know for a fact. He's been around the block. As for Echidna, she's been leading the rebellion for how long? Long enough to say that I think she deserves a point. I love both of them, and I'm really upset that Bartray is often ignored because everyone goes A route because Echidna's hot. Because Bartray's actually pretty fucking good in Binding Blade. It's just, why would you ever pick him over Echidna? Which is sad. Can we get 50 likes? Nerd with a book. Do not separate them. Actually, I might have to separate them. Because Ray is in the employ of someone when you first see him. So is that the first time he's been employed by a group of people to fight? I'm gonna put him here, but it can be argued that he deserves to be higher. Kath. Kath's weird to me. Because unlike Chad, who really wasn't stated to steal in, like, a professional army sense, Kath, like, I want to give her a full point. Because we see her, literally, multiple times, picking locks in official places, sneaking around enemy troops. So I think it's safe to say she's more than just a run-of-the-mill thief. She's a bit higher class. So, I think Miss fancies herself as a Robin Hood deserves the point. We have a 3 streak in a row of trained knights, 2 of whom are like full-on generals. I don't think I need to explain why Melody, Percival, and Cecilia deserve a point. And fuck it, while I'm here, we'll just put Douglas there too, so all the Utrian generals are together. I don't think I need to explain why they're all a point. They're fucking generals. Sophia, nerd with a book. Do not separate them. I don't think it's ever stated that she's fought before. She's just got dragon blood and the knowledge of dark magic. So, pretty good for me. Green. She's a point. Because I think it's relatively safe to assume that as the guardian of Arcadia, she has fought before. Like, I highly doubt the burn soldiers you fight in the lovely chapter Arcadia is the first time a Green has fought. She has probably seen the flamboyant homosexual bandits many times before, where they weren't in Three Houses. Fates didn't even have them in base game. They came in as DLC. I miss them. Give me back, it's not called, like, Rose and something else anymore. In Fates, they were all, like, brothers instead, and were, like, Lloyd, and had different names that started with L. I miss the bald gay bandits. Speaking of bald gay bandits, Garrett. It's clearly stated by himself multiple times that he is not a bandit by choice. He's a fucking farmer. So I think it's very safe to assume that Garrett is just, he's just a farmer that had to take up an axe to make money. So he's had no training in it. So I think he's half a point. Poor Garrett. I really like Garrett too. He's a character that's often underlooked because, I mean, he's not even that terrible. Like, as a unit, he's serviceable. But most people just like Gonzalez's big axe flip floop. Fa's a weird one. I don't remember what I did with Tiki. Do dragons have... I don't think Fa has experience in combat or training. Because unlike Tiki, there isn't like a Bantu right around her all the time to teach her how to, like, exist. So, Fa, I'm putting in no points. She is just... She is baby and needs protection. Hugh, I think, is fair to put as a point. He's just... You see him hired by someone else. He's a mercenary by trade, technically speaking. Knows how to use his book. So this is a nerd with a book with a bit more knowledge than other nerds with a book. Zeist, trained knight. Yeah. Nime. I'm not entirely sure on this one, because it's up for debate whether or not Nime has fought in active combat before, but she's a world-famous dark magic druid. Like, Pent fanboys over her when Canis mentions her name in Fire Emblem 7. So with a legacy like that, I think it's safe to assume you're not just any other nerd with a book. But that can also be debated. I can see y'all not agreeing with Nime. Diane and Juno, regardless of which route you take from Sake or Ilya, they're both a point. Diane's the clan chief who's been fighting this entire time. Juno's a Pegasus Knight that, though she retired to have a child, has still fought many battles before. So, A-okay by me. The Pope. I don't think Yodel's actually the Pope. I think he's just a high-ranking bishop. But he, single-handedly goes to whatever route between Ilya and Sake you don't pick and gets whatever weapons there himself. He's a fucking beast. Plus, you don't get 30 resistance by not being badass. I love Yodel a lot. Or Yoder. What the fuck is his name localized as? Is it still Yodel or is it Yoder? Yoder. Okay. Carol. He's in Fire Emblem 7. Come on now. Very easy pick here. So, yeah. This is it. A bit less professional than most of the armies I think so far, actually. But still, a majority of them are knights or mercenaries that have had training and experience. And the ones that aren't are like utility people that know what they're doing. So, let's see. Let's count how many units are in this game. 10, 20, 30, 38, 48, 54. So, out of 54, 38 points, 43 points, 44 out of 54. That's going to be hang on, let me try to use my brain knowledge here. 44 divided by 54, that's going to be a little over 80%. Yep, 81%. Got it. I took math classes in high school. So, yeah, a drop from Leaf's roughly 90%, but still, 4 out of 5, 4/5, not terrible, not terrible. Obviously, as an army, you'd want more than that, but what you gonna do? Thank you all so much for watching. This one has a bit more controversial takes, so please, I love hearing about, why isn't XYZ character here or this, and I love seeing them. So please, comment away if you agree or disagree. I am fully open to interpretation here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, drink water, wear your mask out in public. That's all I got. Have a great day, everyone. Tomorrow, I think we're going to do some Vestaria Saga. I think. So I'll see you all then, and have a wonderful day.